Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I rented this rooftop.
Wow, incredible.
You know, just for you.
Thank you.
Bought this house because I decided. I know, because I wanted a beautiful place for my beautiful lady. And so now, can you tell me what we're gonna?
Yes. So we have got
you speak
some.
Spanish.
A little bit, not like fluently, but enough.
It's always the people that are good at languages that are like, I don't know how to speak it. Okay, go on.
So we have empanadas, aceditos, and I forgot what this is, but it's basically
Fancy and probably good.
yeah, it's like a tonkatsu kind of.
Let's eat.
Yes.
Your album is coming out.
Yes.
Actually, I think on the day that this is coming out, I think it should be out.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do.
Oh word, cool.
Yeah. How long was this process of making?
That's a great question. Well, the fun thing about like my concept is since before debut, when they planned out ahead, like, you know, there's going to be this whole multiverse within the AleXa concept and different things are going to take place within this like storyline. Right. So this kind of, I guess, concept for my comeback was planned since the beginning.
Okay. And I know it's like the last part.
Yes,
right?
This is
the like origin,
exactly.
like trilogy, right?
X-Men origin stories, exactly.
So like I know that, what is it called? The Revolution. I listened to it. I listened to your album.
Thank you.
It's really good. When you first like listened to this song, did you know right away like this is the song that I want for my title song?
When I first heard this song, you know, it starts out with that like very cinematic for a song.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Exactly. So in my head I was like, okay, all of my music videos have been crazy, but I could already picture like a super wild music video for this one. And like, you know, hearing the strong beats and like the, I guess, rhythm changes from the verse to chorus, I was like really curious to see how the choreography was going to turn out. But like this definitely struck a chord within me. I was like, okay, this is the title track for this album. So.
And how was the choreo? Because like you're, you know, of course you have like that very kind of like independent woman, like strong concept, right? Like girl crush. But was the choreography for this song, was it very difficult?
I would say out of all my choreographies that I have thus far, this is the most difficult one that I have.
Okay.
But the nice thing about this one is my choreographies up until now have been very, I guess, rough around the edges, very hard-hitting. But in Revolution, we emulate a bit more feminine movement in it. So we're changing the style up a bit.
Oh,
so.
feminine.
Feminine, yeah.
Oh,
a bit more ladylike.
It's so, like, I felt like I was watching some kind of, like, action movie. I was like, is she going to get away? Is she going to, like, escape? Yeah.
Cool.
Was it fun filming?
So much fun. Oh, my gosh. I got put through the ringer with this video, but it was so much fun. Like, we filmed for a total of 3 days.
And I know you did your own stunts.
Yes. Did my own stunts for this one.
And went to school.
Yes.
To learn. Because, so did you say, like, from the beginning, like, hey, I want to be able to do this. I want to do this on my own. I
mean, I never said it, so to say, but I was very happy to be given the opportunity because now I want to do more of that stuff. So
it's that much fun.
It's very fun. So bright outside. Goodness.
Because I heard that you were injured.
Correct.
She was injured for her craft,
but it's all good
dedication. It's kind of heart, passion. Yeah. Because of can you say the story again of how you were injured for your fans so that they see the extent to which AleXa is working to bring you the absolute best content.
Thank you.
So what happened?
So with the music video, because I'm sure it's going to be out by this time. I had to run under like these tunnel arches or whatever, and there were 4 cannons lined up on my right side. And we had someone manually detonating them as I went off, or as I ran past them. And we shot that, I think, 5 times. The first 2 takes went smoothly, no problems, whatever. They looked great from the front. But then upon looking at the side footage, I guess some of them seemed a bit late. So like, okay, we're gonna try it again. Cool, no problem. But for this take, we had to have the camera crew directly in front of me, following me down the hallway. So I am a very fast person, actually. So I was afraid of like running into the camera crew, so I went a bit slower, and that cost me. So the first cannon missed me, but the second one hit me, and in my head I was like, okay, keep running, just keep running, and then the others hit me, and I was like, That was not pleasant.
But you're okay.
I'm okay now. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all good. We went to the what's the word?
Yeah, emergency room.
Emergency room, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're all good though. So no problems. No problems.
And but you still had so much fun that you still want to do this in the future.
Yes.
For like if you have the opportunity.
If I can do more stunts with explosives or anything else that's in the music video, again, I would definitely love to.
So are you someone that just really likes action? Like, are you the one that when you go to like the theme parks and stuff, go on the most scariest rides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thrill seeker.
Okay. You're my kind of person.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So did you have any input into like? I know that you're involved actually in a lot of like actual making your album, right?
Right.
So how about like, do you ever have input into choreo where you're like, I think I want to do this kind of, or is it more just like the music in itself?
I mean, I'd say I dip my hand in the pot everywhere, honestly, when it comes to this. I used to live with one of our staff for about 2 years when I first moved here. And I was in what you would call like a field study. She studied what I liked, my mannerisms, how I reacted to things. And she realized I really liked sci-fi, horror, and things very that fit in with the AleXa concept itself.
Is that how that concept was created then? Like because of the
I mean, I guess. Yeah, because of my like enjoyment for things like the movie Aliens, like The Matrix, Resident Evil, things like that. So we really what's the word I'm looking for in English or Korean? I cannot remember. Wow. We drew inspiration from those for my concept in the whole debut project. So.
Like yours is very, very developed.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank
and
you.
like you said before, like from the beginning it was planned out, like this kind of like series for so long. Like that's like that's really, really amazing.
Thank you.
And did you always have like an interest or a passion for like composing music or writing lyrics and stuff? Because I do see that you're involved.
Yes.
So was that ever since like you were younger that you liked to experiment with this kind of stuff, or was it more once you actually joined the company that you were like, I want to take more of an active role in?
I mean, I would still love to learn how to compose music. I still do not yet know how to do that. But in regards to like lyric writing and things like that, hello, antenna. Thank you. At a young age, my dad taught me how to like read and write poetry. He got me really into like Edgar Allan Poe and other things like that. So I've always had an interest in like expression through poetry. So lyric writing became something I started at a young age, and that's followed me to my career now. I wrote the English version for my debut song, and I helped with the Korean version of Revolution for this one. So. Yeah.
Oh wow! So you helped writing the Korean lyrics too?
Not like entirely, but like.
Yeah, but you did have some kind of input.
Yes.
Okay, so you're comfortable enough now with the Korean language to be able to do that. Because if I had to write lyrics in Korean, it would be like, today, the sun is nice.
날씨가 좋다.
Yeah.
나는 배고파.
나는 몰라. That would be like my lyrics. There's a track on this. I don't know if it's like it's a track, but it's like a narration, kind of like a log diary. Right. So how was that recorded? Because it's like you're acting. You're like log number
Captain's log.
Yeah, I need to get out of here. I'm stuck in ZB. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah. How was that? How's do you like to act? Like how?
I do actually. When before I came to Korea, when I was back in college in the States, my major was musical theater.
Oh, okay.
So acting is something I enjoy. So when we film music videos and then do voiceover things like this, it brings me much joy because it takes me back to the theater. So.
And if you were gonna kind of spoil a little bit, like that narration track that I just mentioned, like what would you like to say about like about AleXa, about this origin?
I'd say, well, for one, that track is only available on the physical album.
Oh.
So if you don't buy the physical album, you don't get the track.
But if you buy the physical album, you do get all 3 photo cards. You don't have to buy 3 different albums to try and match. For all the collectors out there that want to fill up your binders.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You are thinking of the people.
The thing is, it basically, the logs begin upon AleXa's first awakening, basically. So that's like a little bit before, if not during the bomb era, debut era. And so that's when she's like discovering, it's like, okay, so I'm awake, but what am I? And so the logs take you through her growth and through like the entire like timeline of all the songs that we have. leading up until Revolution starts. And so basically you just kind of hear her like, okay, she's learning about herself, her memories, her purpose, and then she like finds a goal, a drive to escape, and what she's like programmed or destined to do. So it just takes the, I was gonna say reader, you're not reading this. The listener on a nice little journey through the AleXa universe in chronological order.
But I think it's really interesting because in a way I feel like it kind of mirrors your own experience too, right?
Yeah.
Of like coming to Korea and like learning new things and like, you know, trying to fulfill in a way like your own destiny and then be an artist that's very different, right, than what is in K-pop right now. So, you know, before you listen to K-pop, right? When you were younger, pre-K-pop AleXa, did you always want to be a singer or like a dancer, or did you have other like, you're like, I want to be an astronaut or a teacher or a lawyer?
That's a good question. Little AleXa had many aspirations as a child. I say little as if I'm not little now, but younger AleXa.
More little. Littler
AleXa had many aspirations and dreams as a child. At one point I thought, you know, I want to work as an interpreter for the CIA. Because I loved languages as a kid. Not that I spoke many, but like when I did learn a language, I took a lot of interest in it. And then I wanted to be an actress, and then I wanted to be a model, and then I didn't really know. A whole lot of things crossed my mind, but performer was something that always kind of stayed in my brain. And I think that's due to the fact that like my mom put me in dance at a super young age, and at the end of every season we would have a big recital for our family, like on an actual like theater-sized stage in a theater venue. So I think that gave me experience as a kid, and that kind of made me fall in love with the stage and audiences.
So you always had that kind of love, and then but then that translated later on after, you know, being introduced to K-pop. You're like, I want to be a K-pop star. Right? And then you were in Rising Legends, and you won. And then you came here, and then Zany Bros, they were like, we love you. We want to make you our first, because of course Zany Bros is known for production, right? Right, working with like a lot of the best artists and creating really high quality content. But then they were like, we want AleXa to be our first person, right? So you came in like, what was how long was that debut period where you were like training to become an artist, to debut?
When I first came to Korea.
And that was your first time on a plane, wasn't it? Or first time out of the country?
Yes, first time out of the country. First time out of the country was me coming to Korea.
Okay.
But I mean, there really is no other way to say it. When I first came here to live here, it was literally straight me going into Produce 48. Oh, hello.
Well, what an experience to, you know, like, you're just basically thrown into it right from the beginning.
It was kind of like, all right, yeet, you're in. I was like, okay, what do I do? It was interesting because I really didn't have much time to adapt before I began that process. And so Produce took me from April to August of 2018. And so I was basically focusing on the show that entire time. And then when the show finished in August, I got to go back to America for a bit. I was there for about a month and a half. I came back in early November. And then literally the day I came back, I remember I was lugging my giant suitcases that both weighed like 50 pounds with me back to my apartment. I go to sleep, and then I wake up like 3 hours later, and it's like, hey, you have training today. I was like, good morning? Okay, I go now. So I literally started the day I got back, and I began training with our lovely Afrobeats and dancehall expert, Tina Mire, Miss Tina. So she's trained me since the beginning.
Oh, wow, okay.
We would go for hours at a time, and then I would train. I think I had the studio literally every day, and then we did like 주간평가, like weekly evaluations. But that went on from November up until April or May of 2019, because around that time I started going back and forth to India for concerts as an opening act for a Sunday group.
India?
Yes, India.
Wow. How was that?
So much fun. I would like give my left leg to go again. Like, oh my gosh, beautiful country, beautiful people, food is incredible. Like,
oh yeah, Indian food is
and the scenery is just immaculate. But I went to India 3 times, I guess, back and forth. And so that whole process, including the concerts in India, was part of my training process. My staff told me that my last 평가, my last evaluation, was my final performance in India, and so that was kind of going to determine whether or not I was going to debut.
Oh.
So for
pressure,
months,
pressure.
That was very 부담스러워요. Yeah, that was thinking back on that. I didn't realize that's what that was like supposed to be. But then when all was said and done, they told me that, and I was like, oh man, imagine if I did terrible. Like that would have been it. That would have been.
Is that performance? Can you find it online, like on YouTube or something?
I believe so. I think there's a few like fan cams and everything on like Twitter or YouTube.
I want to see that AleXa performance, the one that determined her destiny. So you, even like language-wise, you pick up language pretty fast. Was it like, aside from speaking 존댓말 to all of your 동생s, to all of your people younger than you?
50-50. With me, I feel like this is a lot of people though. Comprehension comes easiest for some people. For me, I could understand a lot of things. I mean, when I first came here, it took a while, but like now I'm on the level where I can understand basically everything. But when it comes to like speaking, if someone says like a word I don't know the definition of, I think in my brain of like, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I totally ignore the context. And I get so focused trying to figure out what that one word means that I don't know how to reply sometimes. But when I first started, I already knew how to read and write it. I just didn't know what words meant. So you could write the word like 소고기, and I'd be like, okay, 소고기. What is that? I can read it, I can write it, but what is 소고기? So that's like how it was for the first few months of me studying Korean.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still like that too. You know, I mean, not with 소고기, but like, there's definitely words where like, you know, I can read it, but then I'm like.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.